you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
I absolutely believe that did work.
Yes, I think absolutely, Andrea.
So, Dr. Evka, who do we have here today on this amazing Dr. Evka Heart of Influence?
Yes, they're on that Dr. Evka and Josh Tan.
And Josh Tan.
Healthcare leaders, that's okay. With healthcare leaders and change makers on this Heart of Influence, we have the following people. First up, Professor Maris Erlupit from Estonia. That's right. It is 12:30 in the morning where she is, and she is up and ready and committed. She's a highly educated neuroscientist and burnout researcher, a TV show host, a self-made photography trainer, an award-winning photographer, a burnout recovery ADHD perfectionist who has won many awards and titles in her lifetime. Whoa.
Wow. Amazing. And a recovered burnout. I get it. I just can't believe all you've accomplished. It's truly, it's extraordinary. Maris, tell us, what is your fun fact?
That is the hardest question of all, I think, but I'm going to go with the most fun fact of all fun facts. So I have learned hypnosis, and during my TV show, live stream, I hypnotized a few people to eat water and be convinced that they are eating soup.
Ooh.
And afterwards, they felt full, and also the next day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's an amazing little weight loss mechanism.
Exactly.
Very, very cool. I think maybe you could add yet another thing to your list of accomplishments, and that's another career you could have if you'd like. So welcome, Maris, to the show. And Dr. Evka or Josh, let's give Josh a turn. Who do we have next? Oh, hold on. Dr. Evka is going to be announcing everyone. Why don't you go ahead, Dr. Evka? Just editing myself. Go ahead.
I am. And Maris, by the way, I love soup and I need to. This is perfect. See what you're doing. Okay. Next up, hosted at home. Well, In Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, Katrina LeBayan. She's a public health advocate with extensive background in putting seniors first. Super important. Can't forget about our elderly population, and the executive director of the same assisted living facility with Bihana and others. She cares about others. She has lots of volunteer experience, and she's there to put others first.
I am not surprised with the growth-minded, heart-centered people that you've put together, Dr. Evka and Josh. Katrina, what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is I'm part of a performance salsa group. Amidst working as, running an assisted living facility on my times off when I'm able to not be at the building, I perform with a group of like-minded individuals, and we love to dance and perform and have a good time.
Wow. Love that. And you know what? That makes me say, no way. Because hearing your bio, that's not the first thing I would have thought of. So thank you for sharing that fun fact. And I love to salsa too. I'm not very good at it, but it's definitely a fun thing to do with your spouse if you're looking for a little hobby or pastime.
Absolutely.
Dr. Evka, who's next?
Next up, we have the one and only Dr. Nabila Noor from Allentown, Pennsylvania. She's a board-certified urogynecologist and reconstructive pelvis surgeon treating pelvic floor disorders for so many people, emphasizing education, evidence-based medicine, and minimally invasive surgeries to enhance patient recovery and quality of life. She's renowned in her field, a professor and guru for the esteemed physicians through America's OBGYN board review.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do in restoring pelvic floors. I'm
very important, by the way.
Absolutely. I know people that absolutely need you, have needed you in the past and wish they found you. And so grateful for what you're doing in the world and for women. And tell us, what is your fun fact?
So my fun fact is I consider myself a global citizen. I have family members in every continent of the world, except Antarctic and the Arctic, of course. So literally I'll get phone calls at the weirdest time, but I'm so used to it. I'll pick up a phone whenever you call me. So if you're ever in need of me, just give me a buzz. I'll pick it up. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night.
I love that. That is a fabulous fun fact. And how lucky are you to have a whole world of family? That's phenomenal. Thank you for that. And Dr. Evka, who else is on the lineup of the Dr. Evka Josh Tan Heart of Influence?
We have an international Heart of Influence today because next up from Canada, Toronto, Canada, is Dr. Nava Israel, an innovative entrepreneur, author, researcher, and educator with a PhD in epidemiology. A philosopher driven by curiosity and science, critical thinking, human behavior, and social justice. A best-selling author, awakening people from complacency, fostering open-mindedness, wisdom, compassion, and community.
Wow, Dr. Nava, thank you for all you are doing to make the world a happier, more stable place. I could see you beaming a little bit with pride, and that's okay. I love what you're doing in the world. No, shake your head. No, we're all so delighted that you're doing what you do in the world. Thank you very much. And tell us, what is your fun fact?
So my fun fact is that I am twice the immigrant. So as a child, I've immigrated with my parents. We left at great peril what used to be the Soviet Union and the Iron Curtain. And it was truly at great peril because there were two outcomes. One is you succeed leaving, and the other is you go to Siberia for a very long vacation. And so we were lucky to immigrate to Israel. And then as an adult, I immigrated again with my children, my family, to Canada, which is the nicest country in the world. No offense. And we've lived here for 20 years, and that really showed me every kind of culture, because all these places are very multicultural.
Yes.
So that's my fun fact.
Excellent fun fact. Twice an immigrant, amazing achievements, giving, loving, huge heart. Who else we got, Dr. Evka?
Dr. Nava, what you went through was incredible because I'm also twice an immigrant. And so, wow, to you. You have so much heart and so much grit and so much resilience.
I'm wowing with every one of these. This is an incredible group of people. And again, I should not be surprised, Dr. Evka Josh Tan. Amazing.
Amazing. Incredibly amazing. Okay, now we get closer to the United States again, but kind of north by Canada. We have from Salt Lake City, Utah, Anna Laura Brown. Right there she is. Health coach, author, and podcast host. Fluent in multiple languages, which are very important in this international group, bringing a global perspective to her work, an advocate for those on the autism spectrum, using her own experiences with Hashimoto's thyroiditis to inspire and guide others. A podcast host, bringing hope to those looking to reclaim their lives from various medical conditions.
So wonderful to meet you in the virtual green room and here again to hear about all your fantastic accomplishments in the world. Thank you for all you do. Anna Laura Brown, what is your fun fact?
Something a little bit unrelated, but like you heard, I'm from Salt Lake City, and I grew up from the time I was about 12. I started taking a lot of ice skating lessons, ice skated a ton during the winter and even sometimes year-round indoor ice skating rinks. And when I was in college and was taking lessons, I would go practice on the same ice skating rink that Nathan Chen, who won the gold medal in the Olympic figure skating in Tokyo,
cool.
on. And I remember seeing him when he was 3 years old practicing with his mom standing nearby while I was also practicing. And he was much better than me. And I remember turning around and looking at him and seeing his mom cheering him on and thinking he's going to be in the Olympics someday.
What do you know? Well,
What do you know?
Great premonition, awesome fun fact. Ice skating, who knew? Great proximity. Thank you for that share. And Dr. Evka, is it just Eric Moore who's left to be introduced?
Well, we have...
we also have to, of course, introduce Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up is Eric Moore from Ramsey, New Jersey. He owns a Northern New Jersey senior placement franchise, helping seniors find assisted living facility of their choice, having built access to a lot of assisted living facilities. He's co-president of the New Jersey chapter of the National Placement of Referral Alliance, protecting families' choices in senior care and guiding state legislation.
Incredible. Eric, I'm not surprised of all of your accomplishments and all that you are doing for the communities that really need us most, right? And tell us, what's your fun fact? Surprise us.
A fun fact. This was a hard question, but I guess I've always been into woodworking, but now my latest thing is I do wood. I would do wood burning. So I would burn signs and different things that for clients, when they're moving into a place, but also wedding signs, lots of creative type stuff just to as a little separate creative outlet. So I love doing that.
Fabulous. I love creativity. We all do. And using that part of your brain only helps everything else. And what a great gift idea too, right? So thank you for that share. That's definitely a fun fact. And what do you say, Dr. Evka? Hold on a second. Let's introduce Josh, and then we're going to do the things. Who's this dude? Who's this amazing person who has clearly, done a great job bringing some fine folks here to your joint show?
That's right, because it's the Dr. Evka and Josh Tan show. And Josh Tan goes from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. You heard that right, Phillipsburg. Wound care distributor representing over 20 different product lines, working with doctors to reverse chronic wounds and save limbs, providing a mobile wound service to senior communities and home healthcare agencies focused on compliance and excellence at the bedside. Son of a nurse and a surgeon, applying his background in engineering and business strategy to help healthcare businesses serve and grow.
Learned a few new things about you, Josh. So tell us, what is your fun fact?
I just had a fun fact and I actually lost it because that intro was so good. So let's see. My fun fact. Well, I love adventure sports. So what I like to do is hiking, camping, being outside. I got certified in scuba diving 2 years ago, and I just picked up mountain biking.
Ooh.
I just got myself a new mountain bike this year.
Love it. Love adventure. It just makes life more grand, doesn't it? So thank you for that. Are we ready yet, Dr. Evka, to do the things?
I think we are ready to go and continue with the introductions. And should we start with you, Andrea, or should we do mine first?
Well, if I had the bio in front of me, why don't we do you first? Let me see, because I'd love to introduce you. You introduce me, I'm going to get the bio up, and then I'm going to powerfully introduce you because I know there's even more to you than meets the eye.
As there is to all of you.
Yes.
Olympic, bike riding, wood etching. Like you could etch all of this right now in wood, this whole conversation that we're having right now. What a nice gift idea. And I love how so many of you are located internationally and speaking multiple languages, including Josh over there. And Dr. Nanur, Dr. Sar, Dr. Nava Israel, Katrina, you're like in another country, far away. And Anna Laura Brown.
And it's a fabulous group. So let's finish up this part and we're going to go and do the things and play the game.
We will, and it's so much fun.
So, Dr. Evka, you need not introduce me. I am the executive producer of the show, and
you have such a good story.
Yeah, but I'm having just a little.
Andrea, can I introduce you?
Do you want me to introduce you? Can I introduce you?
Well, I will say, oh my goodness, Doctor, does anyone know this about you? Growing up in the projects, helping her mom clean houses, reorganized health as the optimal need in life. This became her passion. Undergraduate degree in engineering, an MD and a PhD with a master's in public health. Now 17 years as a physician. She's writing books that have shifted and changed entire paradigms in practices, in specialties, saving countless lives and serving numerous volunteer projects as well. Unbelievable, heart-centered leader, Dr. Evka. Can I say you're even more cool than I ever imagined?
Oh, thank you. Okay, so there's a lot of things I could say that are fun facts about me, and I'm sorry I just jumped in. But like right now, I am in Eastern Europe celebrating. We just finished celebrating the festival of one of my ancestors. So we're here and we got Edify. It was amazing. But with the people I want to edify is the people who could not be here today. So Bella Verita and Sean Callaghy. They
Hmm.
both had emergencies. I know Sean from a number of different things, but one of the ways I know him is through Jack Chen. Jack Chen is a blind lawyer, as is Sean Callaghy, and they both participated in a movie which features a group of blind cyclists who traveled across the country to raise awareness about the unemployment rate for those who are blind. Blindness does not affect intelligence, and yet the rate of unemployment for people who are blind is abysmally low. Fun fact about it is that I was also in that movie, surpassing sight multiple times as the physician on the team.
Amazing. I did not know that. That's a fabulous, fabulous fun fact. And I'm glad you mentioned the name. It's definitely a documentary-like movie worth seeing.
It is, and Sean and Bella are incredible people. Just wanted to put that out there. They had emergencies, so we're doing it today, and it's such a pleasure to see all of you.
Phenomenal.
And now let me introduce Andrea Catania from Nutley, New Jersey. So imagine this. You are a mom straight out of law school, and you are a single mom. And you have to figure out how to make things work. Well, this woman right here, Andrea Cananeo, 2 years out of law school, she built $1 million solar practice from her basement as a single mom with 2 young daughters. She's a deal attorney, having led over 200 capital markets and transactions in the past 25 years, taking companies public in 7 different ways. She proudly serves for over a decade on the board of the National Investment Banking Association, helping companies get connected to thousands of members and funding sources. She's an executive producer right now of The Heart of Influence, this show that we're on, general counsel and chief ecosystem officer of Callaghy. And now share a fun fact about you.
My really fast fun fact in the interest of time is I'm 61, I have 5 grandchildren, and I have never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So what do you say, Dr. Evka? Are we ready to do the things?
Let's do those things right now. Absolutely.
Okay, who's up first? As you guys probably know, we've got 2 participants who are going to try to get Dr. Evka, who can be whoever you want, go from hello to yes on anything. You can set the scenario. It can be someone who you're trying to maybe establish a relationship with and organize a later meeting. Or maybe you want her to be a billionaire and your yes that you're seeking is to get her to consider writing a check for $100,000. Whatever it is not Glengarry, Glen Ross, sell me this pen. It is not Wolf of Wall Street. You know, build a little emotional rapport, ask some questions. That's all I'm going to say. Hello to yes. You've got 3 minutes. Who is up first? Dr. Evka of our participants. What do you say we start with Maris? Maris, who would you like Dr. Evka to be? She could be whoever you want.
I would love her to be a healthcare professional.
Okay.
Is burnt out.
Ah, all right. Let's set the timer for 3 minutes. Dr. Evka, say hello.
Hello. Oh.
Hi, I'm actually so glad you took the time to talk to me. How are you feeling?
Sleepy, tired.
I can
burnt
only
out.
imagine why, but I would love to hear why.
I am looking at the clock right now. It's over there. I have just worked 30 hours straight.
And this has been going on for how long?
Years. As a physician, I'm expected to complete all my paperwork, be on call. And if there's a lot of patients who need my care, I have to be there for them. And I still have to see patients in the office and sometimes go to the hospital. I
It
take
almost
care of everyone else.
it almost feels like you are doing this out of obligation.
I went into medicine as a passion to help people. And I'm working all the time helping people. But I'm not giving much help back.
Do you even have some time for yourself? A minute, two?
Yes, right now we're having a conversation. This is my time to talk about me.
So maybe if you have a minute a day, you could take that minute for yourself and we could start right now. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
I would like you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Focus on your chest.
Okay.
Another deep breath. How do you feel?
At peace. Better.
And now imagine if you had a few of these minutes a day, would that make a slight change for yourself?
Yes.
Would you be up for that?
Yes, because it might help me fall asleep.
Well, if this breathing doesn't help you fall asleep, I have a voice that may put you to sleep within 30 seconds.
Wow. I believe you. I think you're a hypnotist.
I think we ran out of time and I didn't have any more questions.
Great job. We'll get to the feedbackers a little bit in a little bit, but phenomenal job, Maris. And who is up next? Dr. Evka.
So the other person who is up is Katrina. Katrina. Yeah.
Beautiful, Katrina. So who would you like Dr. Evka to be? Again, can be anyone, your scenario. You've got 3 minutes to get to yes. You're on. Dr. Evka, say hello. Oh, hold on. Let's set the scenario. Sorry.
Yeah, like who are you?
Okay, Dr. Evka, I would like for you to be someone that is currently in a tumultuous relationship with a partner. And you are, I guess I'll just leave it at that. You're in a tumultuous relationship with a partner and trying to seek whether or not you should remain in this relationship.
Okay.
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 All right.
Hi, I'm in such a bad relationship. He doesn't get me. We just had another conversation right now, and he did not get it.
What happened in this conversation? I think this is the umpteenth time that we've probably had this conversation about him. What was it about this time?
I told him to change. I told him to stop being so self-centered. It's not always about him. He has to think about other people too.
And there are times, yes, we have these partners where they think about themselves, but we can't control how other people react to their day-to-day, how they try to control their situations. Have you tried talking to him about how you feel?
Yes, I gave him this really good book to read. It's the love languages. He has to speak to me in the love language that I want to use, not the one that he wants to use on me. But
So
you know what he said? No time.
No time. What's that love language? What makes you happy?
I want acts of service. Gifts are not going to do it for me. You can give me all the gifts you want, but I don't mind living in a cardboard box.
Have you given him an example of how he can do an act of service for you to make your heart fulfilled? Have you sat down and said, "Oh, honey, I love it when I come home after a long day of work and you've done the dishes. It really just touches my heart." Or, I like it when I don't have to ask for you to take out the trash. It really just touches me. Have you had
Oh,
that opportunity?
I have. I told him, oh, honey, if only you would like do the dishes every once in a while.
hmm And what was his answer to that?
It's a woman's work.
Well, I mean, that's something that you probably would have to sit down. How long have you guys been together?
Long time,
Long time?
long time. But he doesn't remember our anniversary. It just happened. I made it easy for him. He doesn't remember. He told me to buy my own gift.
Oh, no. I'm sure there was some spark that brought you two together from the beginning. And sometimes it's that anchor that you need to bring into your now when you're going through a tumultuous time, when you're trying to weather the storm. Think about that first time when you first met. What drew you to him? Was it his smile? Was it his laughter? Was
I
it
think
his
it
way
was
to?
the dopamine.
And I think we're out of time.
Phenomenal job. You've both been terrific. Now we're going to get to the fun feedback time. This is when, also called judges, sometimes called feedbackers, this is when you get to give back in the form of feedback. You're basically going to give 30 seconds of what either Maris or Katrina did really well, what maybe they could have optimized, and then you give them a little fun score. The score, instead of numbers, we're going to use, I would rather have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Maris or Katrina. I don't think anyone is in that category. The next category is, I wouldn't mind having a cup of coffee, maybe a mocha chocolate latte at Starbucks, and have a conversation, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Or if you're looking for a pretty long conversation, you want to have a longer conversation to find out what's going on with this individual, whether it's Maris or Katrina, you want to go to Capitol Grill, maybe have a juicy steak, a seafood tower, or if you're a vegan, maybe salad and French fries. But you want to have a good couple of hour conversation to really find out what's next. That's your next step. And if you're really over the top, you would rent a private jet and of course pick up Josh and Dr. Evka and go anywhere in the world that you want, just so that you could have a several hour conversation or more with Maris or Katrina. So we're going to first go to Anna Laura and ask for your 30 seconds. And please, we got to keep tight on this because we had so many beautiful shares. We want to make sure that we have enough time for everyone to give their rating. Give us 30 seconds of feedback on Maris, something she did well, something you think she could optimize, and what do you want to do as a next step? Coffee, no root canal, coffee, Capitol Grill, or fly anywhere.
She did really well with the scenario. So to start with, it was a really good, relatable scenario that we could all relate to. It was one we could see ourselves being in. And I think she got really into the conversation very quickly. She didn't just chatter away. She got right into it. Given the time, I think that, I don't know, I don't have any feedback for improvement. I would say coffee chat, sure.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Excellent, excellent work. Dr. Nabila. Ooh, Dr. Nabila, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Katrina?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, her voice, her pace, her calmness definitely helped Dr. Efka to feel comfortable to open up and kind of communicate. So I thought that was really good because she kind of toned it down based and brought it down to her level to match her energy. And I think that was really amazing. I agree. I think I would definitely want to do a coffee chat and then see where this goes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Excellent feedback. Eric Moore, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Maris?
Yeah, I think she did a great job. Really calm demeanor, very friendly and open. But the breathing exercise, I think gave her some really like good, practical, useful advice that she can do every day for herself. So I think she not only got, gave some good pointers, but also gave her a useful tool to use going forward. And I'd Capital Grill all the way.
Nice. Awesome. Sounds terrific. I might join you. I love the Seafood Tower. So let us now go to Dr. Nava. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Katrina?
Katrina, I really enjoyed it. I think you were so thoughtful and your questions were so relevant, and you really went with the story and adjusted based on that. I'm a foodie. I would take you to the restaurant and talk about relationships and, strategies and just fun, because you do seem like someone who can have fun with that.
Wonderful, wonderful feedback. Great, great job. Josh Tan, I would love to hear your 30 seconds of feedback for Maris.
Maris, you did a great job. I did like the breathing exercise to kind of give them a tip of the iceberg, like solution while they're on the phone. I think you did everything great. Just my only feedback would be, where's the next step in the meeting? I know you ran out of time, but that's the game. And, sometimes we only have 3 minutes with our potential clients on the phone. So have that set up and you're good to go. And I would definitely sit down with you for dinner, order anything you want, and we'll talk for hours about all of these topics that we're into.
Amazing, amazing. And all I'll say briefly is you were both fantastic, excellent communicators, really opened up listening, were likable and humble, and were practical in the guidance that you provided, both of you. Maris, I loved how you leaned in and came up with an exercise right away. And Katrina, loved that you were problem solving. And although you didn't get that yes, because I stopped you boldly at the 30 seconds because I want us to have enough time to cover everything, you both had that yes. We all know you both had that yes. Excellent, excellent work. I can't even think of an optimization because you asked questions and really did a phenomenal job. So thank you for that. So now is a sort of fun time of our show. Not that the rest of this hasn't been a blast, but where Dr. Evka is hopefully not going to be too mean to me and give me a scenario based on something that I bet she's thought of already or maybe came up with during the show, where I'm going to be challenged to have to get someone or her get to a yes in maybe a more difficult situation than you had. So lay it on me. What's your scenario? And let's get busy.
Okay, you're going to listen intently because this one has to do with all of them. So this is an international audience where people speak other languages, many of them, or they've traveled to other parts of the world and they know the importance of communication. Because
I'm only speaking English, just so you know.
Okay, but you know the importance of communication. Communication is so important to all of us, right? So I am going to come up with a scenario between Dr. Nabila Noor and you, where Dr. Nabila is going to try to convince you, Andrea, to try to learn another language.
Oh.
And you're going to be guided. You feel like a medical visit. You're going to be guided by Dr. Nabila Noor. That while she will try to get the interpreters to be able to help you with your medical concern, it'd also be good if for the rest of your life, outside of the medical context, you learned another language. So that's going to be a conversation. And you, Andrea, are going to be apprehensive about learning because you're so busy and you do such an incredible job for the Heart of Influence that you're going to be apprehensive about learning another language. And Dr. Nabila Noor, that could be the language of your choice because in this group, we have people with multiple languages.
So I'm pretending to be a physician. She's coming to see me or just in general?
You're a physician. You are you.
Okay.
She's gonna
And
come in
just
to
to remind
see
you, the Sean character that I'm supposed to be generally would be, it's okay. This scenario is fine. Generally, it would be my sort of kind of demonstrating some Haloti-esque techniques, but it sounds like you want to flip it around a little and have Dr. Nabila convincing me, who's going to be an apprehensive person, to pick up English. Is that correct?
Correct. Unless you
Or
guys
pick up
want to
another
switch
language.
around.
Okay.
You can switch around. You can be convincing Nabila to speak another language, but she already knows them.
Okay. Okay. So, ring,
Okay.
ring.
Hi, how are you doing, Andrea?
I'm wonderful, thank you. I'm wonderful. I know we had just a few minutes. I know we had just 3 minutes for this call, and I'm grateful. Is now still a good time?
Yeah, absolutely. What's been going on?
Okay, good. Well, I do have a team that, I was told by Dr. Evka that, we're really struggling with some of our international communications. And I understand that you have potentially some solutions, but I don't know, man. I'm just wondering at this point, what inspired you to have this conversation?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to kind of see if there's any way I could potentially, help you. So tell me a little bit, what is it that you're struggling with? Like, what are some of the challenges that you're facing or your team's facing?
Well, the challenges that we're facing are we've got 4 or 5 people that only speak English, and we distribute products internationally, and most of our clients don't necessarily speak English. So
Yeah.
it would certainly be of use if we had an opportunity to communicate in someone's language directly. But right
Sure.
now we don't. And you know what? Part of me is fine with that. I think we're going to be fine. And I'm just curious if by chance you have any.
So you mentioned that,
ideas.
your business is suffering as a result of that. So don't you think that being able to communicate better would be something beneficial for your business or your future prospect?
You know what? We are doing pretty darn well. We are doing pretty darn well. So I'm kind of on the fence. But you were highly recommended, and I'm certainly very curious to learn a little bit more about how you think you might be able to help our organization and get us to a point where it would make sense to spend the money, because I imagine it's expensive.
Well, it is, but I think, I would probably kind of suggest, like, think about what you're giving up as a result of not being able to communicate, rather than thinking that you're already doing well and not thinking that you need that. I would probably urge you to think about, for a minute, if needed, what is it that you're giving up because of that limitation? Why don't you kind of tell me a few pointers of what you think you're not being able to achieve as a result of that?
Thank you so much for opening up the discussion. What I'd like to do, if I may, is ask you just a few more questions about what it is that your organization is able to provide. Like, what was it that actually got you into the language world, and what types of training do you offer?
I think, the first thing is connection, right? No translator and no kind of, in-between person can kind of bridge that gap. So especially if you're doing business, or in my field, right, when I'm communicating with patients, there's an automatic comfort that patients have when they come and see me and they understand that I speak their language, right? And they feel that comfort. And for anybody, whether it's in business or in my case, as a physician, just making the patients feel comfortable at that first visit just automatically helps them open up to me in ways that I probably wouldn't be able to if I didn't speak the language. So I'm thinking in that terms, it may be something for you to consider as well.
And just curious, what is this going to cost in terms of time and commitment, and in terms of dollars?
Well, the way to think about it, everything has a cost, right? But again, for me, learning something is never a cost. It's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your business. And truthfully, like, it's an investment you're making in building relationships. And relationships can only help you to expand, whether it be in your career, in personal life, or in future, like, business prospects. So I kind of think of it as an investment rather than a cost that you're incurring right now.
And are we going to be able to sit down at some point and really talk numbers? Because I'm a numbers person. I really want to get a feel for, is this a few $1,000s? Is it $20,000? Is it a few $100s? Is it a subscription?
I think it depends on what it is that, we're looking for. And I think, if you're getting into the nitty-gritty of the business strategies, we'll have to kind of see what it is that you're hoping to kind of gain from this. What is your goal and what is the goal for your team? And then, we can get into the more details of it.
Well, then I say, yeah, I'm willing to have a longer meeting with you. Absolutely. Let's do it. Thank you so much for being so thorough in your description of how you could help my team. I really appreciate it. I
let's
didn't
do
think that
it.
I was going to say yes, but thank you so much.
Well, let's
So
do it.
while that was a flip out of character, the way we would have done it
You
another
really
way,
flipped,
I'm
huh?
following the Dr. Evka model. And thank you, Dr. Nabila, for really doing such a great job with it. We call that question mastery, that skill that you have in really actively listening, level 5 listening, we call it, and asking these amazing questions. And thank you so much. So Dr. Nabila, now that it is 6:13, perfect timing. We're okay on time. Terrific, terrific, everybody. How was your time? First of all, how was I at playing this person? And how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence, on Dr. Evka and Josh Tan's Heart of Influence?
Yeah, and I mean, you were amazing. I think, you were great. You got right into the heart of it. You didn't waste any time. It was also good because you weren't being difficult, but you're also being a little kind of, okay, like convince me. I'm not going to give in that easy, which is it's always nice. It's always a lot more satisfying. Like, especially, we always have patients who come to me and I'm a surgeon. And so the impression that people have is when they come to see me is that, oh, I'm definitely going to push surgery. And that's definitely not true. So there's always a little bit of that, well, I need to test you a little before I trust you. So yeah, that's what I felt. So it was good.
I found you empathetic, respectful, direct, precise, beautiful communication. Thank you so much. And you had a good time on the Heart of Influence?
I did. This was great. I didn't know what to expect, but this has been really exciting. So thank you, Dr. Efka, for inviting me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Dr. Nava, what did you think? How was your time on Dr. Evka and Josh Tan's Heart of Influence?
It was really fun. First of all, meeting such interesting people, each and every one is such a delight. I as an author in the last 5 years, it's a very lonely occupation. It's between your mind and your laptop and your research, and interacting with such interesting people is just delightful. It reminds me that the world is filled with fun people and talented and gifted.
Thank you so much for that authentic, beautiful impression. And thank you for being so vocal about it. And I can't agree with you more. And community doesn't have to be in person. Look at what we're able to do on a Zoom. So thank you so much for being part of the show. Maris, it meant so much that you were a participant. I know that is not so easy to be in that seat, but you handled it so glowingly, so beautifully, with such certainty and confidence, and you were yet down to earth and in your heart. How was your time on Dr. Evka and Josh Tan's Heart of Influence?
Well, I'm so grateful to have been here, to have met people who work with truly their hearts and get to influence so many different points of view. Just to sum it up, I'm grateful beyond words.
Well, thank you. We feel that, and it means a lot. And that's the point. That is the point, and appreciated having you. The show wouldn't have been the same without you. And Katrina, our other participant, again, thank you so much for agreeing to step into that role. I know it's not always easy, but you handled it with such grace, and it was really engaging. We all enjoyed what you had to offer. You're a wonderful communicator. How was your time on Dr. Evka and Josh Tan's Heart of Influence?
It was amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Josh Tan, for inviting me to this. It's definitely offered me the opportunity not only to meet such wonderful, distinguished individuals that have joined us here on today's show, but the opportunity to step outside of my comfort zone day in and day out, working as a healthcare administrator, I know, one thing, and that's my niche role that I'm honed in on serving seniors, but being able to kind of step out of that, assuming the role of the participant, thinking on the spot,
Yes.
really, it tickles my brain in the best way. And it was
Tickles your brain. Love that.
it was
I'm so
wonderful.
glad we were able to tickle your brain.
Yeah, in the best, ultimately best way. So thank you. Thank you. This was a really amazing experience.
Loved having you. And Eric Moore, how was your time on the Heart of Influence?
Yeah, it was really great. I didn't know what to expect, and thanks to Josh for inviting me, and thanks for letting me participate. But it was really a great experience. Good, role playing, and just, it really just gets back to basic communications between people and listening and really engaging in different tactics to see how you can influence and be influenced. So I really enjoyed it.
It really is an incredible platform, and I couldn't think more of it because I stepped into this role, leaving big law to come here and exec produce a show like this, knowing the connections I can make, the impact that we can have on the world. Truly extraordinary and a brilliant idea, in my humble opinion. And we have to credit Sean. He invented this platform during COVID when they just couldn't have the deal teams and meetings at the Capitol Grill with people who he knew would want to meet or host events. So glad you had a great time. And I think, Anna, Laura, are you the last person I need to ask? How was your time on the Heart of Influence?
It was good. I did not like the others. I didn't really know what to expect either, but I thought it was super interesting.
I'm so glad, so glad you came. So we have some free gifts for you. And if you look in the chat, we're inviting you to a Wednesday deep practice. I encourage you to come. We'll pre-register you. You'll get a text message. And that's an opportunity for all of us to participate in learning a little something about integrity-based human influence, going into a breakout room and sort of doing the reps, actually trying some of this out for size and helping up level the way you communicate in your influence mastery. It's fun, it's free. No one is going to try to sell you anything. And it is just our gift to you. Then following that is the huddle. And that's where Sean Callagher, one of the founders, will come on and share some things that are going to help you have the best start to your day ever. And there's also a book download. So enjoy those gifts. Make sure you make a copy of them. And afterwards, we're going to send all of you a list of everyone's, name and contact information so you could be in touch with each other. That's part of, I think, the real value here is you're going to be able to connect with everyone that you've met. And if you need anything in addition, like you didn't download the book in time on the link, we'll be happy to send it to you. It's a fabulous read. It's a textbook. I would really encourage you to have a look. And Josh, do you have any finals at this point about the show, about your impressions, about how much fun you had?
Always a blast to partner with Dr. Evka, and amazing, Andrea, to see you in your new role as executive producer. Our first time to do the show together. Amazing. And, Dr. Evka and I are doing amazing things in New Jersey. So if you're in New Jersey and if you're a physician, be on the lookout for our new ecosystem that we're building.
Love.
And we're going to start with physicians and then expand to all healthcare professionals, so assisted living, home healthcare, senior placement, and we kick off in October. Dr. Evka and I, and another doctor, and another, we're a team of 4 people, and be on the lookout for some information on you.
Fabulous, love it, include me, count me in. Dr. Evka, any final words for this phenomenal group? Thank you so much for putting this group together. Amazingly accomplished, yet so down to earth and humble. I really am. And just like you really sourced some phenomenal, amazing, extraordinary people. Really enjoyed meeting all of you. And I mean that it's impressive, and it was fun to get to know all of you in a different way. I got to know you. We all got to know each other in a way other than having a quick cup of coffee first and maybe not asking the questions that we asked. So Dr. Evka, any final finals before we bid these folks adieu? You're on mute. Unmute yourself.
I have a couple of finals before we leave. The first is that The things that the Unblind Group is offering are absolutely free. It's not anything for sale. It's just like an additional thing that you can have if you want to. Wednesday morning huddles are an opportunity just to talk to other people who are also in businesses.
You've muted yourself accidentally. Unmute yourself.
Josh Tan and I are creating a program for other physicians to help with burnout and to make them feel a little bit better, because the rate of like one physician at least dies a day from suicide. Physician burnout is such a big issue, and we can do something about it, and we can band together and create community. And then I agree with everybody. Part of the reason I got you together is because together you are stronger than alone. And I want there to be connections with different moving pieces of you after the show. Because the way you create community and a community of impact is not necessarily always by yourself. 1 + 1 = many. And I hope that you can connect with each other afterwards and talk about your avatars. I know Dr. Nabila Noor, she's an expert in her field, as are many of you. And so I want to hopefully extend to you that ability for us to connect after the show as well. Not today.
Thank you.
Past midnight for me, but on another day.
Amazing. And thank you, Dr. Evka, and absolutely all connect. So we end the show by saying, no matter how far we've gone in life, how successful we may be, how many things we've already achieved personally and professionally, on some level, in some capacity, we are all a little blind and learning to see.
And just learning to see.
Thank you all so much. We really enjoyed this. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Take care all.
Bye.
Bye.